Are a Bible reader and you're familiar with the way Jesus is portrayed in the Gospels, I think you will agree with me if I say Jesus had a soft spot for mothers. Sa Tagalog, may pusong mamun siya para sa mga nanay. He could not afford to turn down their requests. At the very least, he would not embarrass them. Start with Peter's mother-in-law, meaning his wife's mother. We are told how Jesus quickly volunteered to give the old lady a pray over the moment Jesus heard that she was sick with a fever. Then you have a story about Jesus on his way to a village called Nain, where he encountered a widow whose only son had died. And we're told how Jesus was so moved to his very guts at the sight of this woman and how he brought her dead son back to life. And then there is another mother in the story of the Syro-Phoenician woman in Mark chapter 7. She was being shooed away. Pinalalayas siya ng mga alagad. Actually, Jesus had put up a mean face to her at the start, pero di niya masustain. What touched his heart was this pagan woman's persistence for the sake of her sick daughter. She did not mind staying in a corner, quietly, like a dog waiting for crumbs of grace to fall from the master's table. And you remember also those mothers who were trying to get their children, their little children, to come near Jesus so that he could bless them. That's in Mark chapter 10. And how the disciples were also driving them away. That was one of the rare occasions where Jesus got really angry with his disciples. I think what he really meant to say was, let the mothers bring their children to me. Because it was the mothers who were bringing the children. He could not turn the mothers down. Or remember Mama Mary, his own mother, at that wedding feast at Cana in Galilee in John chapter 2, verses 1 to 11. Remember how Mama Mary pressured Jesus to do something about a problem situation that could bring embarrassment to the newly married couple? And how Jesus gave in. Pinagbigyan niyang nanay niya. Even if he had already said to his mother, my hour has not yet come. Na-pressure siya talaga. And in today's gospel, Matthew chapter 20, verse 20, Jesus allows the mother again. The mother to represent her two sons, James and John. And to express her request, namely for positions of authority. First, Jesus addresses the mother and he asks, ano magagawa ko para sa inyo? What can I do for you? And after she tells him her wish, he says to her, you do not know what you're asking. You do not know what you're asking for. I think that gentle rebuke was his way of saying to the mother, you will not ask for that if you truly love your sons. But he did not say it anymore. Hindi niya gustong ma-embarrass yung nanay. And I imagine that he just gave the old woman's face a pat, a gentle pat, and dismissed her, saying, okay, let me talk to your sons now. And it was then that he shifted to the two boys, James and John. Can you drink the cup which I am about to drink. You know, my point here is that mothers must have inspired Jesus a lot. Bakit kaya? Well, because he saw in them the readiness to give up everything for their beloved. When he said, "Whoever among you wishes to be great must be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave." Palagay ko, he had mothers in mind. That's the kind of role most mothers voluntarily embrace for the sake of their loved ones. It was the role his own mother played when he responded, or when she responded to the angel, and she said, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord. I am the maid servant of the Lord." I remember my own mother who raised 13 children na walang katulong, without a housemaid. When she was still alive, she was interviewed because she received a Gintong Ina award. And at some point during the interview, she was asked if she ever thought of applying for a job. Ang sabi niya, well, she said, no, because she was most needed as a full-time housewife. And I vehemently reacted. And I said, "But ma'am, what you did was the equivalent of more than 4 full-time jobs." And she smiled and she said, "Being a mother is being a mother. It is not a job. It is a vocation."